Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to do an update to a story I covered back in early February, which was titled, After 3 years of no lovin', I broke up with my girlfriend, she then slept with her boss, now she wants me back. And shout out to Isaac for sending me this update. And as a recap, guys, that's about the young guy who had this girlfriend for 3 years. She grew up in a religious family. Her dad was a pastor, but she claimed she was not religious and wanted to remain a virgin, not to upset him or the family. Like, how would they know? And so this guy was with her for 3 years in college, not getting any. They said they'd fool around, but there wasn't any, the full deal. And after a while, he got tired of this and broke up with her. He broke up with her, but also I want to point out that leading to breaking up with her, there was suspicious behavior going on, red flags. She got a job working at a company, I think as an intern or something, and she was always talking about these really successful guys at her job, blah, blah, blah. Didn't make him feel too good. Eventually breaks up with her, moves on, and guess who's back wanting a second chance? And oh yeah, P.S., she was hooking up with her boss. Right, letting him know that. And she'd be willing to sleep with him from now on if he wanted to get back together with her. Nah, not having it. And then she was back and forth playing mind games, and finally he had enough and said, nope, that's it, ended up blocking her. And that's pretty much where his part 1 and 2 ended. It was all one and 2 in one video. Now we're on months later to see guess who's back, because they always come back. So I thought you guys would like to hear this for those of you that saw that story. So he says here, I bumped into Ellie once again. He says, hello, I'm the guy who's 23 years old, and from this post an update. My old throwaway account got blocked, so I had to make this new one. I learned a lot through that experience, and believe me, that I'm a little less naive than I was. Many of you said that I would see Ellie again, she's now 22, and you were right. Of course everybody was right, because they always come back, at least when they want something. There was some confusion in comments previously about dates of graduation and work. I'm an Australian living in Melbourne. University here runs from late February, early March to November each year. Our summer holidays are in December and February, because obviously they're in the Southern Hemisphere. Graduate intakes into companies are usually in February each year. If you recall from my previous post, my ex, Ellie, and I mutually agreed to be no contact after some drama on her part. Try a whole lot of drama on her part. At the urging of Redditors, I also blocked her to help maintain no contact. I've been working since February as a graduate engineer, and it's been everything I hoped it would be. Good job, bro. Congratulations. I'm meeting amazing, smart people, learning so much every day, and I'm finally earning a salary after years of being a broke student. Having a little money in the bank and being able to afford to do things like eating out is such a nice change. Yeah, I remember when I first started making money when I started my first business. I actually dropped out of college to start my first business, and I was looking back, it was a very good idea that I did that. And when I first started making money, it was wonderful. And I know all of you guys felt the same way. You pay your dues, then you can start reaping the rewards. When I finished university in November, I moved in with my brother temporarily. He just broken up with his ex and needed help with his rent. That's where I was living when Ellie last came to see me. He found a new housemate, and since his place was on the wrong side of CBD for my job, oh, I get it. I moved into a share house in the southeast of Melbourne. The place is a bit rundown, but the rent is reasonable by insane Melbourne standards, and there are lots of pubs, bars, and restaurants nearby. The location and my housemates have been great. Awesome, bro. You're living the life. Now, yeah, live cheap, man. Put away money, invest it, grow it, all that type of thing. And I'm sure if it's not the best place, it's fine for a young guy like you. I'm seeing someone. I will call her Olivia. Not her real name, though. She's the sister of one of my housemates. Bad idea. Don't date your bro's sisters, man. That's never going to end well. We met when my housemates and I had a barbecue, and she dropped by. We got talking, and we're still talking hours later until everyone else had left. Her brother told us to shut the fuck up so he could get some sleep, haha. I asked her out that week, and we've been close since. My housemate, her brother, has been making fun of us ever since, including more than a few crude jokes when she stays over. No way in hell would I be cool with that. That your housemate, your bro, is banging your younger sister or older sister, whatever, and you're all in the same house, and on the other side of the house, nah, no thanks. It's not going to end well. But maybe he hasn't known this guy too long. I don't know. Don't shit where you eat. So we agreed to be exclusive 6 weeks ago, and so it's still quite new. Smack, take your time, dude. Well, maybe, I think you say met her in the winter, so it's probably more than 6 months. Okay, maybe that's not too bad. She's cool, she's smart, and gorgeous. The chemistry was instant and immense and intense from the moment we met. We just clicked so well. It's such a great time together when we're together. I think my man, after years of not getting laid, is just any hot girl comes along, he's just like, yes, it's so wonderful. Be careful, my man. Olivia is an accountant at a big firm. One of Olivia's workmates was having a party last month. She asked me to come meet her and some of her work friends. We went inside and Olivia introduced me to the women and hosted the party, her workmate Jess. Uh-oh, short for Jessica. There would have been maybe 40 or 50 people there. I didn't know anyone but Olivia. At one point, I offered to grab more drinks. The kitchen was in a separate room, and as I was getting them, a guy asked me to pass him a beer from the fridge. I introduced myself and said, "Hi, I'm Tim," fake name for my last post. We chatted a couple minutes about our jobs and how we know Jess. Then I just said, "Nice to meet you," and returned to the group. I didn't recognize his face as I'd never met him before, but it was definitely Ellie's Tim. His job and firm lined up. That's the guy who she was hooking up with at the job that she had, and it seems like this guy was quite the player and all that. And I think if you all recall how he handled her. And he looked in his 30s, a bit older than most people at the party. Neither of us mentioned Ellie when we were talking. Small freaking world, my man. This guy gets around. Tim's spreading his seed. He's going to a party. He's in his 30s with a bunch of college girls, 20-something, young 20-somethings. Not a surprise. Later on, I asked Jess how she knew Tim. She said she used to work at the same firm as Tim, also where Ellie works. But she moved to another employer where Olivia works, and despite living in a city of 5 million, it's still a small world. I gotta wonder if this Jess character was hooking up with Tim. Think about it. And now there's Jess character's friends with Olivia. Be careful, my man, who your girl hangs out with. So on the tram ride home, I must have been quiet because Olivia asked what was on my mind. I said that Tim guy was at the party. Was or maybe still is my ex's boyfriend. I said I didn't even think he knew who I was, or if he did, he didn't say anything. That prompted me to share some of my history about me and Ellie. Olivia was wide-eyed and said, "You never told me you were a virgin." Then she laughed and said, "Well, we took care of that." She asked if I had any feelings for Ellie, and I truthfully said no. I dealt with all that months ago. More recently, there was a formal charity dinner that Olivia was asked to support. Her employer was a sponsor of the event. She was keen to show me off. We were at the table with a bunch of her work colleagues. Nice people, and one of her work friends was so excited to meet me. And Olivia can't stop talking about you, blah, blah, blah. That made me feel good. Well, that's nice. They all seem to be interested in who he is and all that, but still, pay attention to who her friends are, pay attention to who her coworkers are. After dinner, a few of us were chatting, and I got a tap on the shoulder. I turned around, and to my surprise, it was, wait for it, you all can guess, Ellie. Tim was with her. It was so weird to see her again. Tim said he remembered meeting me at that party, but never made the connection to Ellie until just now. She must have told him about me. I'd be like, yeah, hello, asshole. Now, remember, supposedly, according to her, after he ended it with her, then she got together with this Tim character. But the fact that, remember, she was talking about, obviously, him and other successful guys at that job she was at when he was still with her, I'm not quite buying she wasn't cheating on him. Nah. Ellie looked very different. She had lost a lot of weight and was very slim. The tight red dress she was wearing made that obvious. Her dad would not approve. Not that she was ever overweight. But I never saw her that thin before. She was immaculately made up with what looked like, to my ignorant eye, like expensive jewelry. Either it's fake jewelry, or she racked up her American Express card to buy jewelry, or that dude bought it for her. She changed her hair too, now blonde instead of her natural auburn. She looked like a sleek, rich gal, not the poor pastor's daughter I remember. Don't get me wrong, she looked amazing, but she looked like a different person. I know it was a formal event, so we were all dressed nicely, but this was a major transformation. Despite her glamorous looks, when I saw her, I didn't feel anything for her, just nothing. Well, that's impressive moving on, man. I mean, when you're with somebody for 3 years, you're not going to get over overnight. Now, it's been some time, and obviously he's with this other chick now. That certainly helps, and he's gotten some ass, but still. The fact that he doesn't feel anything, he's indifferent, that's the best place to be. And you all remember, guys that are indifferent with girls drive them crazy. Ellie said she was so glad to see me, and she had some news. Holding out her hand to show a diamond engagement ring. Oh, for goodness sake, this Tim guy's an idiot. I know nothing about diamonds, but it looked pretty big and expensive to me. Yep. I offered my congratulations to both of them. Just then, Olivia walked back over. I introduced her to Ellie and Tim. Olivia put her arm around me, and Ellie's smile seemed to kind of freeze. Well, how about that? She's engaged, showing off the bling and all that, and she meets the new girl, and all of a sudden, boom, the smile's gone. And Olivia's marking her territory. I didn't really know what else to say, so I just said, nice to see you again, and I wished them the best for their wedding. Tim walked off, and Ellie just sort of stood there a moment. It was awkward, and later on, as we were leaving, Ellie was staring at us as we walked out. Olivia said later that I think she still has a thing for you. I said it doesn't matter. Yep, she definitely still has a thing for him. And of course, Olivia can tell. Anyway, cut to a few days ago, my brother messaged me saying Ellie stopped by looking for me. Yes, Reddit, you were right. He knew not to share my new address with her, so all he said is I'd moved out. So much for her happily engaged to Tim. Doesn't she realize that Tim is a giant player? But hey, he's got money, he's got success, he can buy her the big giant engagement ring, all that. But goes to show you. But now this guy obviously has... It's interesting. If she didn't see who this guy was with, this Olivia character, I have to wonder if, she'd be reaching out all of a sudden. But I'm sure because he said Olivia is very good looking and blah, 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 The next day, I received an email from an address I hadn't seen before. Oh, who could it be? It was Ellie. No acknowledgement that she was breaking our agreement to be no contact, because she doesn't care. No mention that she stopped by my old place. It said it was great to see you again. I've missed you. And that girl you were with is pretty. How serious is it? Yep. I guarantee you that if she didn't see this gal, or if this gal was not very good looking, he wouldn't be hearing from her. But now she has competition, even though she's with another dude. And telling me that she and Tim have big plans for the wedding next year, and she hopes I can come. Stirring up more freaking drama. I was annoyed because she's trying to make her life my business again. Despite promising no contact. Even going to the trouble to make a new email address just to get around me blocking her. Well, that's not that hard to create a new Gmail account, and but yeah, she doesn't care. They always come back. I showed Olivia the email, and she rolled her eyes and asked me to think about why my ex would send me that. Why do you think? Olivia knows why. Why indeed? Olivia is great at cutting through the BS and reads people way better than I do. Ellie cannot have me back. I'm in a relationship now, plus she's engaged, and it's not like I would go to their wedding. Of course not. This chick just cannot take rejection. She cannot take that this guy's moved past her, And she just doesn't give a shit. Mind games and bullshit and all that, but again, also his indifference made her crazy. Why go to their ex's wedding? It wouldn't be right. I don't know why she's trying to contact me, but I can guess that she wants to use me for emotional support once again. Or maybe things are rocky with Tim, who knows. Whatever she wants, it's not happening. She has family and friends, she can talk to them. Yeah, but you're the one that broke up with her. And women can't take rejection. They either become psycho on you, or they become psycho-obsessed with you, And come on, she knows this Tim guy's a freaking scumbag. She knows he's a player, but he can give her a life and lifestyle that she, couldn't get, or at least she thought she couldn't get otherwise. And the irony is this guy here, no doubt over time, would be earning probably better than Tim and all that, and would have given her a good lifestyle, but, well, you know how it turned out. So I deleted the email and blocked the address without replying. Ellie promised she'd keep out of contact and just couldn't help herself. I still intend to keep my word of no contact, even if she doesn't. I've also set up a filter to send any email containing her name to the bin. Yeah, don't respond. And that's going to make her more crazy, which means it's going to make her chase after you more. And the funny thing is that this girl tries to track him down, and then his girlfriend's with him. And that Olivia chick might whoop her ass. Olivia and I had a talk about that. I asked if she was concerned about the Ellie thing, and she said no, she's not worried. She didn't get the serial, the serial type of thing vibe from Ellie. I'm glad none of this has put her off of me. Well, if anything, if Ellie's good looking, this will make the Olivia chick thinking, okay, this guy's a high demand guy. I lucked out pretty well with this guy. So nothing too dramatic, but it does goes to prove you guys are right. Ellie couldn't go no contact despite promising to do so. I was able to sidestep her much more easily than last time. Ultimately, this is a good news story. Life is great right now. I've got a cool new girlfriend, a fun place to live, and a new career that I love. It's been easy to leave Ellie behind. Well, that's great, man. It's nice to hear a guy, moving on. I mean, 3 years with somebody is not a small thing, and he wasn't getting any at all. And you know what? The thing is, it seemed like he was content with that for a while, but eventually got to be pretty old and annoying. And then off she goes, and she has got a new guy. And I'm pretty sure she was hooking up with that guy when they were still together and cheating on him. I just don't buy. I've been around the block too many times. I've lived too long, heard too many of these stories. But this proves you they can take rejection. They always come back. And she just, she's a whole freaking mess here. And I would have bet you that if he would have taken her back before, then she would have dumped him again. She wouldn't be hooking up with him. So, you know what? This guy gets to have the last laugh, and it's always nice to see. But I do think she's going to become snooping around eventually, turning into a full-blown stalker. And I don't think we've heard the last of Ellie. And you guys can take your bets in the comment section, like before, whether she'll be coming back. Now some comments before I wrap this story up. One guy says, OP was always Ellie back. The OP was always Ellie's backup plan from the beginning. I'm putting money that she never was a virgin before and just wanted to keep him because he was a nerd and had a good future. Then she met Tim, who could give her all that she wanted without having to wait. Ellie's now pissed off her backup plan no longer is going to wait for her. Exactly. Another one. Let's see. Ellie, the ex grew up in a religious and sheltered home. Check. Ex tried to keep herself a virgin because of a promise to her father. Check. Ex then sleeps with the first guy, 10 years older than her, to give her attention after the OP breaks up with her. Check. A tale as old as time. Also, she was totally keeping OP as a backup. She made sure to contact him every so often to keep him interested. Dangle hope in front of him because she was his first girl. She assumed he wouldn't find another until she was done with Tim, who invites an ex to a wedding whom they never talked to. Exactly. Yeah, a lot, as you guys are well aware from the stories and your personal experiences maybe, women will be more than happy to keep a guy on as a backup plan, just in case things don't work out with the guys they really want, or they're trying to monkey branch too. Either they friend zone the guy, or even if the guy's moved on, they try to go back in their lives a little bit so the guy can't quite move on, but the joke's on her because this guy's moved on. And one more. This guy says here, I have a massive problem with people in the first post criticizing him. It was clear he couldn't care less about her virginity. Men that are obsessed with virgins and purity are definitely weird, but that was not this dude at all. He just wanted an intimate connection with his partner, and people scolded him for that. That is crazy. They were incompatible and broke up. He didn't pressure Ellie, didn't berate her. He did everything right except for taking too long to break up, and he still got crap for that. If the roles were flipped, those comments would not exist. Well, this is Reddit. What do you expect? Ellie is ridiculously manipulative. Maybe that's due to her upbringing, but man, she's really putting this dude in quite the emotional turmoil. I'm glad he actually found someone on the same page that he is. Well, this dude doesn't seem too impacted by emotional turmoil than this writer thinks. This guy's doing great. He saw her. He was indifferent. Hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And, hey, time helped heal the wound. And he's doing well in life. He's happy. And he's banging this good-looking chick. So, he's on cloud nine. I just hope he doesn't get too attached to this new chick, because you know how that whole thing, where that can go. But anyhow, I don't think we've heard the end of Ellie, but this goes to show you guys, they always come back. Can't take rejection, and especially when their backup plan is, and also, when a guy and a gal break up, and the guy's moved on, and he's got an even hotter girlfriend than her, because women know if the other girl's better looking than them, drives them nuts. Drives them nuts on so many levels. So, pretty entertaining one. Alright guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.